Hey guys, Devin from DCON here, and in my opinion there's a few things that make for a great screen on a laptop. First of which, you want to find one that has a high screen to body ratio, aka thinner bezels. And secondly, you want a panel that's highly color accurate and preferably one that has a matte coating. And lastly, a great hinge can go a long way. Now, Dell has set the gold standard for what makes a great screen for the past half decade now, and they haven't been dethroned ever since, until right now. Asus's new Zenbook line is the new gold standard in what makes a great screen, and while we've seen their excellent hinge with the ErgoLift design for the past half year now, we've only ever seen displays from Asus with a two-way nano-edge design, and while in isolation this looked really nice, it still looked rather chunky in comparison with Dell's XPS line. On their new Zenbook line, Asus is using what they call a four-way nano-edge design, and they've actually shrunk the bezels on all four sides, and while the top and bottom bezels are still thicker than the sides, it's only by a little bit, and it actually gives the illusion that the bezels on all four sides are of equal thickness. The display itself is a 15.6-inch matte display with a resolution of 1920 by 1080, and the panel implemented is excellent as well as it's highly color accurate, as sRGB color accuracy is 95%, while NTSC and Adobe RGB are 69% and 73% respectively. Also included is a 720p web camera, and while it's not outstanding by any means, it should get the job done for most. And thankfully there's IR sensors adjacent to the web camera, which allows for Windows Hello sign-in. Alright, let's dig into the keyboard real quick, and I want to take my time with it as it's one of the best keyboards I've used in quite some time. It's a full-size backlit keyboard, and it even has a number pad as well. And the slight angle of the ErgoLift hinge allowed for a noticeably more comfortable typing experience, and the keys themselves are properly spaced out, which help minimize any errors. And key travel itself is nice and deep as it allows for a nice clicky typing experience. While the keyboard's great, the number pad is a bit on the cramped side, and I mean, I don't have very large hands in any way, shape, or form, and I found myself messing up quite a bit early on. You should see improvement over time, and I was actually able to use the number pad over a prolonged period of time without any mistakes, but the overall typing experience was never really that comfortable. And this is a bit of a disappointment to me as I use the number pad quite a bit. The trackpad is excellent as well as it's using Windows Precision drivers, and overall it just feels very nice and has a good tactile click to it as well. The speakers can be found on the bottom of the laptop, and despite their Harman Kardon branding, they don't sound that great, and on my unit I actually had some distortion taking place just after a few weeks of use, which concerns me of their long-term durability. In terms of loudness, they reach a maximum of just under 80 decibels. Looking at the internals, we can see our 5 main components. Working our way counterclockwise, we first have our GTX 1050 GPU. Just adjacent to that is our i7-8565U processor, and this is a quad-core processor utilizing the new Whiskey Lake architecture. Just below that, we have 16GB of RAM, which is soldered on, and to the far left, we have our M.2 solid-state drive, and this is the only user-replaceable part in the entire laptop, and it might as well not be, as in my particular unit, the screw was tightened so tight that even these guns couldn't even open it up without stripping it. And lastly, just below the SSD is a 4800 mAh battery. Let's take a look at the processor real quick. The new Whiskey Lake architecture actually provides a nice boost in performance, and when comparing this i7-8565U chip, which is a mobile chip mind you, to a desktop grade chip utilizing last generation's Coffee Lake architecture, we actually see a 40% boost in single core performance, and when comparing their multi-core performance, the Whiskey Lake architecture wins out again, as the i7-8565U processor is slightly more powerful than the i7-8700T processor. And this power is showcased very nicely while editing videos, as I was able to edit 4K videos without any issues whatsoever. In fact, the last 2 videos I made were created solely with this laptop, and it was an overall pleasant experience. And while this is not a gaming laptop, it can still handle some light gaming, and it can actually achieve 60 frames per second at 1080p with smaller indie games. While more current AAA titles such as Metro Exodus and Assassin's Creed Odyssey are nearly unplayable as they reach frame rates in the mid-teens to early 20s. And older AAA titles such as Wolfenstein 2 and Nier Automata are more playable, as they reach frame rates in the mid-20s to early 30s. And while gaming or editing, the fans are on full blast as they hover just under 50 decibels, and during general use, the fans never really kick on as it hovers around 35 decibels. Port selection on the Zenbook is perfect as we have a headphone jack and a USB Type-A port along the left-hand side. And along the opposite side, we find a second USB Type-A port as well as our proprietary charging port. an HDMI port, a USB Type-C port, and thankfully there's a full-size SD card reader as well. I only have a few negatives with the Zenbook, and it's mainly concerning the top case. First of which is it tends to attract oils and gets dirty quicker than your average laptop. This is nothing that a quick cleaning can't fix, but you'll probably be doing this daily if you're a bit OCD like myself. My second issue with the top case is the flex itself, and there's a lot of it. Now I'm not sensitive to keyboard flex at all, and this didn't ruin my typing experience, but there was enough there to make me take notice, and I know there's people out there that are sensitive to that. Battery life on the Zenbook was excellent, as I was able to get 8 hours and 54 minutes at maximum brightness, and 13 hours and 12 minutes at minimum brightness, and total recharge time was just under 2 hours. Overall, this is one of the best 15-inch laptops you can buy today, and it actually checks all the boxes you look for in a great laptop. It has a near bezel-less, color-accurate display with matte coating. Both the keyboard and trackpad are excellent. The new whiskey-like architecture is capable of professional work, and the battery life is excellent as well and should get you through your entire workday. As an added bonus, port selection is excellent as well. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please send me your likes. If you enjoy my content, send me your subs. And as always, thank you for stopping by. I'll see you next time.